told you we was going duck hunt. I don't know what you're wearing. Only thing you gonna kill in that is time, man. Listen, I don't even know why I brought you out here. Don't you worry about what I'm wearing. Listen, and as far as killing goes, you just worry about how we're gonna get more than our limit back out of here. Hold on, man. So still. Come. There he is. Oh, man, did you see that? I got him. I got a black duck. Dude, what are you doing? You ruined it. He was right there. First of all, there is no black ducks in this area. Second of all, that was a crow you just shot. You scared them teal off. Man, you got him. Oh, you just jealous because you didn't kill one. Welcome back to part 2 of building a duck boat. Today we're going to be working on a blind. I got all the tools and material today we're going to end up trying to build it with. Like I said, so I'm going to show y'all all the tools and material we're going to be using today, and then we'll start building. Alright, so I got all the material laid out in the boat, so I'm going to go ahead and go over this. So for attaching it to the boat and how I can remove it, got 4 C-clamps here. I think these are, let me look and see, these are 3-inch ones. And then I got just 2 pins, that way you can raise and lower it and lock it in place. Bag of zip ties. I think it is 8 of these little bolts here. If I can remember the size of it, I'll put it down in the description. Then I got these little 90s for putting on the end of the EMT. There's 6 of those. And as far as painting it, I'm just going to be using 2 of the satin espressos I had left over to paint it. That way it ain't real shiny. And I also have 2 of these things that came on net and I bought from Academy. One of them's a 8x10, another one's a 4x10, but I also have a scrap piece that I'm pretty sure is just roughly around a 4x10 steel. And as far as keeping the wind and rain off of me, I'm going to be using 2 of these tarps. I picked them up at Home Depot. It's just 9x12 camouflage. I think it's breakup country. And as far as tools go, we're going to be using just a drill, measuring tape. This right here is just a little stick of a soapstone. I'm going to be using to mark the pipe, that way when I cut it. And as far as the cutting tool, I'm going to be using an angle grinder. And for my holes, for my pins, I have here a 3/8" drill bit. And for the bolts, let's see, I have a 5/16 for those. So I'm gonna go and start measuring from the from laying across like that. I'm gonna have a pole that goes from one end to the other to mount my brackets on, where they flip up and down. Put one there, and then I'm also going to put one up front, probably in front of this seat somewheres. Back the boat measured at the top, that way we figure out how long we need to cut our pipe. Let's see if we get that hook here. Looks like it's just 47 inches wide at the top, but I want about 1 inch overhang on each side, so we'll go ahead and mark at it. Just do 49. Then let's go up here to our front and check it out. Alright, let's see, our front right here is roughly 38. And again, like I said, I'm going to add 2 inches to it, so we'll just call that front 40. I'm going to go ahead and get these pipes measured out, marked, and cut, and I'll get right back with y'all. Now that I got those cut, I went ahead and just laid them on up here and kind of mocked everything up in place. Now, I was talking about using these so I could quick detach them. I'm just going to take and run a bolt straight through that pipe, take clamp, that way it clamps on and off. And basically I'm just going to have my little scissor blind here. It's removable, but got my other one back here at the back as well. Now this, and one thing I've seen in other videos, people was talking about making sure that they keep your little tiller handle out of the way for your blind. So I made sure I put it far enough up where I can keep my battery and stuff back there. And also I stopped this up here a little bit short just so I could take and get my boat in right there so I can step in. Or I also thought about later on maybe building a little deck or something like that, or making this a little bit bigger, this deck, in case I take a dog with me or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring the in-between from this bar down to that bar. So basically what I'm gonna do, just kind of a rough little thing you can do here, is put that little bracket on, slide it down right here, because one of them's gonna have to go on the inside of that, and the other one's gonna go on the outside when they fold down. That way everything sits still. Then I'm gonna take and come down here to this end, and let me see, I need to find another one of those elbows real quick. So I'm gonna take this elbow, just set it right here, then take my soapstone, do me a little mark. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, then I'll get right back to y'all. And then on the other side, we're just gonna go on the outside of the tubing, that way it sits flush. But we're gonna go cut them, and then we'll come back. I shave for cutting the arms on it, how I'm gonna do that. So you can tell, go ahead and got that cut and laid back into place, and it fits pretty perfect, like I said. And then for the inside bars, I'm gonna go ahead and let them come out of the boat another 6 inches, because I don't think it should matter much. So I'm gonna take and probably set it right about in there. The inside rail from outside takes it to 6. So then I'm gonna come on in the boat to 33 inches is where I'm gonna take and have them where how long my bars is. I mean, the reason why I done that is because I just got in the boat and sat down and measured from the floor of the boat to just a little bit above my head when I'm sitting in there, and it was just a little over 4 foot. And I'm trying to also give myself room, because I'm gonna make a flip back top for it as well, that way you hit a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and get them other pieces cut, then I'll take and show y'all them, and I'll get everything bolted up, then I'll get it painted, and like I said, we'll start trying to get this thing camoed up, show what it looks like. Pretty well cut and put together as far as both of the little sides here. It's gonna be the flip ups, the front and the back. Now I still haven't done the top yet, because I'm gonna wait until I get everything else bolted together and in place. So for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and mark these back out the way they need to be, clamp them together, and drill through them and bolt them together. And then I'll do the same with both sides, and I'll show y'all how we'll do the sides. I haven't got to quite done that yet. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything marked on up, then I'll come back and show y'all how I'm gonna have it clamped, and then I'll drill through it. So I got them clamped together about as best as I can. I'm just gonna drill through right here and try to drill through both of them. That way I ain't gotta worry about any issues with the holes lining up. But like I said, I just took the C-clamp, clamped them on like that. Then again, start drilling through. Well, go ahead and get this drilled out, then I'll get back to you. Took and got all those drilled out and bolted together. You need to be tightened up a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and take and set my my back rail on out 6 inches, and I'm gonna zip tie it just so I can hold it in place while I drill the holes and it's not flopping everywhere on me. But I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready, and I'll show y'all that. Go ahead and set this on up, get everything adjusted. So I'm gonna go from this side of the rail right here, the outside of it, to the corner right there. So 6 inches right there. I'm gonna take, like I said, some zip ties. I'm just gonna zip tie this pole. Just about 1 or 2 zip ties should hold it in place. Like I said, I ain't trying to keep it there permanently. It's just enough to go ahead and do too for now. But it's just enough to go ahead and hold it in place while you drilling your holes, and it ain't flopping around near as bad, or one end flop out and then you're having to fight it trying to get it back in the boat by yourself. So I'm gonna do the other side. So I got that one side drilled out and bolted in. Now I got my zip ties running for my other, so I'm going to drill it. But just kind of give y'all an idea. It's gonna flip up, be my back. Then that other side will flip up and meet it, and I'll just push a pin to hold them up and take them back down. And then I'm gonna, after I get these screwed together, or screwed and bolted in, I'm gonna take and probably start trying to work on that top. It's just gonna be another bracket the same as these. It's just gonna connect to this back side, probably right about in here somewhere. That way it comes on up a little bit past right there. That way you can fold it back and it stops. But so I'm going to get that drilled out, and then if we still got enough daylight left today, I'll start working on that top and off. So we ran out of daylight, but I did go ahead and get them holes drilled. That way I could put my little pins in place to hold it up. One thing I did have to do that I didn't realize until yesterday after I cut the camera off was I had to take and move the back section back a little bit. And I'll show it with the GoPro up close, that way y'all can see what I'm talking about. But whenever I was flipping them up the way I had them, they wasn't going to line up, be real squared up at the top. So I ended up having to, like I said, move it back over and re-drill another hole just so it's square up better. And so I'll go ahead and show y'all that. Back, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about where I messed up at. So I still got the 6-inch gap, or the overhang, on this side, the left hand side of the boat. Then on the right side over here, on that back wall, it's going to raise up. I brought it in. The reason why I done that, like I said, is because it wasn't squaring up. And I had my original hole drilled right here is where my pin went. But I had to move it over to match up with the front. So what I done is went up there and measured the distance from where that hole was up front to the actual side of the boat, and it was 12 inches. So I done the same thing up here and matched it. And now whenever I lift it up, put the pins in, it's squared up. So I'm gonna show y'all back to the other camera again with it being set up. And then we'll take and start working on getting the top ready. I can tell I got the pins in it and it's set up. Now it still ain't probably perfectly square, but it's close enough where I think I can put a top on it. Like I said, where to probably stop right in here. I want to make it about 20 inches wide. That way it covers me pretty good, keeps rain or, like I said, wind knocked off of it, and keeps your head better. And that way you got a little gap here where they can't see as much. And when I come in, just flip it on back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my other piece. I'm just going to take, probably put it where it's just about 1 inch higher than this right here. That way it stops on this, and you ain't got to worry about having a hard time trying to catch it and bring it back. And I'm going to do it probably just about a 1/2 inch or so wider than these ends. Like I said, that way it stops on it. It doesn't fall inside of it. And got my pieces cut. That way I could have a bracket where it goes across, like I said, flip top. So for my sides, my little arms here, I ended up cutting them 22 inches. That way, surely I figured with 22 inches, I'm just gonna try it and see to get my get where it's a little bit higher than the back bar, and so it makes the height that I was wanting and the width at the top where it's 20 inches wide at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay everything back down. I'm just gonna do like I did with the first bars, where I'm gonna take a zip tie and just zip tie them together and drill straight through. And then run my bolts. Now these bolts ended up being needed 10 of them all together, but they was 8 millimeters. But I'll go ahead and get all that put together. Then I'll show y'all whenever I got the top on. I'll flip it up and set everything back together. And got it put together. Like I said, I took some paracord, tied it up top, that way it wouldn't just flop on down. But as I'm sure y'all can also tell, it ain't squared, but it seems to still be working pretty good though. Like I said, so basically it's gonna be my little window. See out of. I'm gonna have some camouflage net and hang it down where it kind of covers me up a little better. And then when I come in close enough, you just reach your hand, flip it back, cut them down. Well, went ahead, got everything painted up. It took me about 1.5 cans of it, and I decided just to leave everything on the boat because I couldn't really figure out a good way to hang it up or set it up where I could get it all and not get any dirt or anything like that in the paint. But so I'm just gonna let it dry on the boat, set up, But for now, I think I'm probably gonna be done for the day because it looks like it's about to rain. So I'm just gonna push this back in the barn, and we'll probably come back in a day or two. I'm gonna try to go ahead and start working on getting the camouflage put on. But looks like it's turning out pretty decent so far. It's just about the first time I've ever really tried to build a duck blind for any kind of boat. So like I said, I don't think it's too bad, but we went and got everything painted up and dried up. So now I'm gonna take and get that tarp out and wrap it around everything, zip tied across the top, and have it drapes down the back, and then I'll put one around front too. Took one tarp to wrap it, and so I just cut the excess off the back and brought it around front and zip tied it on this side. I thought then I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping the camouflage netting on it, and I just got everything attached right now with zip ties, and might end up putting a piece of PVC pipe or something down here at this end to hold it down, because I noticed when I was putting it on that the wind wants to blow the back of it up. It's like someone figured out a way to put some weight on it, but y'all just stay tuned. We're gonna get that netting put on. Got everything all put together. And I just took some little bungee cords that wrap around, hook on itself, put them on it, and I folded everything back down. As you can see, it's pretty compact, but I'll go ahead and set it back up and show y'all what it looks like when it's all together. It didn't take too long to put it together by myself, but I think it's going to be a pretty good hide, and you can flip it back pretty easy. Like I said, one hand, or you can take your gun barrel and flip it back. But as far as the back there where the motor is, I got an extra piece of net, and I'm just going to take with me and throw over it. And then the front, I still didn't, I ain't real sure what I'm going to do up there, but I kind of would like to make a spot for a dog to be. And I will show you all the inside of the blind, what it looks like on the inside. Blind, I'm gonna show you, like I said, the inside, how it's set up, but it ain't real, like I said, a whole lot of room, but at the same time, it is a 12-foot boat, and I didn't want to make something that was real big and stuck out on the boat when you're going through the water, and also I didn't want it to be real top heavy as well. But like I said, I'll go ahead and show you around. Like I said, this is with the top back right now as well, so. Like I said, you can set up pretty well, like I said, with that back. Then I got the room up there for whoever wants to sit there. If anybody does go with me, or just decoys and a dog up there. And then, like I said, the top, like I was talking about, you just flip it on up and show you kind of what it looks like in here. But I believe it's pretty good little hide though. Well, as y'all can see, this is it, like I said, folded up, and I'm probably going to take a ratchet strap and run around the trailer just to be sure it don't go nowhere, but I don't think it will. And this is probably going to do it for part 2 of the duck boat build. I still got a few other ideas I may do, but we'll just have to see how things go. And, oh, one thing I also forgot to mention as well is in that bottom piece, I did put me a piece of PVC pipe, and I just rolled it in there a time or two and zip tied it. That way the wind wasn't catching it and blowing it up, because without anything, like I said, it was picking the back up, and it was also blowing the front forward as well. So it's turned out pretty decent. Like I said, it's the first duck blind ever built for a boat out of a EMT. Well, it's gonna do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching. Y'all tune back in for another, and don't forget to like and subscribe.